Hello and welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. In this video, we want to talk about how to 7 ways to pass Jamb without studying. It sounds too crazy, right? It may sound so difficult, but it is not impossible. So many students have promised themselves that they're going to study very hard for this upcoming Jamb, but at 1 month of the exam, they're already overwhelmed, being stressed out, like they've not covered the syllabus. I want to tell you that in this video, I'm going to show you tricks and tips that you need to know for you to be able to successfully pass this exam, if not to score at least a very high score. Yes. One of the first tips is to answer easy questions and skip the hard ones. A lot of students, even if you've studied very hard, because studying very hard is one of the ways to pass exam easily. So even if you study very hard and you end up writing the exam, spending so much time on difficult questions and letting that to weigh you down, how will you gain momentum? How will you gain confidence? So skipping tough questions to go for easy questions help you build momentum, help you build confidence that you need to be able to pass the overall exam successfully. So don't forget, be ready to answer the easiest question first. Then when you skip the other questions, you come back to them later. 2, guess on tough questions. If there are no penalties, who says there are penalties? There is no penalty. It is a misconception that Jamb gives penalty. If you choose the wrong answer eventually, nobody is going to give you negative marking. They call it negative marking. There is no such thing in Jamb score. Imagine if they are given negative marking, who is going to pass Jamb then? You may wonder. 3, time yourself. Do you know how many time it requires for the whole exam? 2 hours. That is 120 minutes. And how many questions are you required to solve? 180 questions. So by the time you divide, each question will take 40 seconds. So are you going to spend 40 seconds on a question? Probably no. A L of a big no. So try to spend less time. That's why you need to solve those easy questions first, so as to gain enough time for you to be able to revisit the tough questions. Then you'll be able to choose or even guess the right answer. 4, read the question carefully. Sometimes it is just from the reading of the question you get to see the options, or from the reading of the options you get to see the similarities, you get to analyze, you get to fish out which question is right, which answer option is right. But if you don't read the question well, how can you get the right options? And if you don't read the options right, how can you get the right answer? That is it. So make sure that you read the question carefully. All right, good. 5, review your answers. Yes, you have to review your answers. So if you have spent less time on the questions, you have done all of the above tips and tricks which I have talked about, then you'll be able to review your questions. Say for instance, you spend an average of 30 seconds per question. At the end of the day, you have an additional 30 minutes left. That is 10 extra seconds out that you can go to add on those questions that you have skipped, those questions that seems tough. So if you're able to do all of this, I can assure you that you have enough time to be able to review your answer. All right, good. 6, very, very important. A lot of you don't know that this 6 point is one of the most important part in all of the exam, because if you that wants to do the exam is not taking care of yourself, who will do the exam? So the 6th tip is to take care of yourself. Eat good meal. This 1 month is not a month for you to go fasting. Yes, I know a lot of you may want to take it so go spiritual, like fasting, in order to be able to get a good grade. Well, I wouldn't say you shouldn't do that according to your faith, but make sure that you break or you engage in good meals that will help the brain. Well, you may need to eat more fruit, drink more water, and even make sure that you sleep. This is no time for you to do an overall all-night reading. You don't need it. Sleep, because when you sleep, the brain needs it to be able to relax and to be able to remember. Of course, this is not the time for cramming, but this is the time to really strategize. Strategize. Follow with these tips, and you will be so sure that your exam, you're surely going to pass it, and not just with honorary grade, but because you have followed the right steps. All right, good. Then lastly, don't be too hard on yourself. Yes, if you fail this time around, you can always come back to do the exam. Do you know how many people that over the years that have failed in their first attempt, the second attempt? It becomes a story later in life. It becomes a story you'll talk later years, maybe after your graduation or even after years of your working experience. You remember those years and say, wow, I remember those years when we were struggling with Jamb, So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up like, oh, I didn't do well. It's just for you to know that in your next exam, you have to really sit down and make sure that was I able to put into practice those tricks and those tips that were given to me in that video. Mind you, you can always replay this video. Don't feel that because, oh, I've watched it once. You need to replay this video so that to get yourself acquainted with these tricks, to get yourself acquainted with these tips, because these are tips that even goes beyond Jamb exam. These are tips that even you can use when you've passed this Jamb. If you really use these tricks here, you are going to use it beyond this Jamb exam. And I hope that you're going to take care of yourself and make sure that you pass this exam. Thank you for watching, and if this is your first time of coming to my channel, kindly click on the red subscribe button and the notification bell. See you some other time. Bye for now.